Hello everyone. Uh, I think I'm having an issue of here. Just give me a second. Uh, Sorry for the technical mismatch. Hello everyone. Thank you very much for joining today live webinar. As usual, I'm your host, Dr. Shah Siddiqui, from Neurodivergent Business Consortium. As you know, that this is a business consortium to support businesses, people with neurodiversity, and we are uh, empowering people for different aspects, and as well as creating awareness to the community, to the businesses, and to locally, nationally, and globally. So we have a special guest today, and we're going to be talking today specific topic: how to grow local economy by creating a positive culture. Because you know that I'm in South Coast, and we have Isle of Wight here. It's creating massive contribution to the economy, and we will talk about it. And we have a special guest today. I will introduce him in a minute, but before I introduce him to you, if you wanted to ask us any question, please feel free to utilize the comment box. We will try to answer your questions, and please support our work as usual. So we have today Trevor Cooper from Isle of Wight, the White Link, and they are creating significant contribution to the local economy. And we have planned this program to let you know how White Link is creating job opportunities, new businesses, and significant contribution to small and medium and large size corporations in the South Coast. And Trevor, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate that you joined. Could you please introduce yourself to the audience in terms of what you do and how you are creating positive culture in the economy from White Link?
Yeah, will do. Thank you, Shah. So my name is Travis Cooper. I work at White Link Ferries. I'm their sales manager. I've worked there for 12 years now. And the largest part of my job is I deal with a lot of the freight movements traveling to and from the Isle of Wight. So we keep goods and produce moving as much as possible. We also look after the business travel to the island as well. So that's my main focus in my job. We like to obviously promote a positive culture. We're very conscious of the city that we're in, but also the island that we serve. So we try and make sure that we do as much as we can to keep the economy on the island buoyant, because if it wasn't, people wouldn't need to go there.
Thank you, Trevor. We just have our first hi from Terry Arnold, from Terry Arnold Consultancy. We work together. Hello, Terry. Thank you very much for joining today's live webinar. We used to see how many people have joined LinkedIn Live, but they have now don't have this functionality that how many people have joined. We don't know. It's just live, but people do communicate through the comment box. So to the audience, we have Travis, and we will talk next 1 hour. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask us through the comment box. So Travis, I know that you are creating significant contribution, and we wanted to talk about it, and we wanted to encourage local people and other businesses to do the same, the way you are contributing. So can you briefly tell our audience maybe a little bit of historical information of White Link? What is White Link, and what it does? Because we know it's creating contribution, and you have ferries from Portsmouth or Southampton to go to Isle of Wight. But actually, what is your main operation?
So, yeah, if we go right back to the day dot, we were part of British Rail. So we were owned by the railway company. Then we got sold as a private company. We've been Sea-Link was one of our first incarnations, and then turned into White Link. So some people with long memories that have been living on the south coast will remember the Sea-Link boats in the good old days where we used to go from the old concrete slip at Old Portsmouth. We operate three routes to the Isle of Wight. So we operate Portsmouth to Fishbourne, Lymington to Yarmouth, and we have a foot passenger route that runs from Portsmouth Harbour over to Ryde on the Isle of Wight. So our main service is to connect these two spits of land. Really, we operate a lifeline service. We ensure there's a huge amount of freight that travels to and from the island. There's a lot of import, but equally there's a huge amount of export. And some of the export figures I think might surprise some of the viewers on today's webinar. About 30% of the tomatoes that are bought in the UK all originated from the Isle of Wight. So
Wow.
it is a huge export that comes off. I think last year during the summer season, we exported somewhere close to 5 million cobs of sweet corn that were all
Mm.
grown in fields on the Isle of Wight, and they go to be sold as fresh corn into cans and into animal feed. So, yeah, and the other one is MHI Vestas are situated on the Isle of Wight, and they build wind turbine blades that go all around the world to the wind farms that you see, the offshore wind farms. So those blades are actually made on the Isle of Wight as well, and they're barged off singularly to go for shipment around the globe, which is hugely interesting.
That's really fascinating because I live in Southampton and I work in Portsmouth. I've been to Isle of Wight many times. I did not know this information. Thank you very much for adding value to today's event. So to the audience, we have Trevor from Whitelink, and I'm Dr. Shah. Siddiqui from our Neurodivergent Business Consortium. If you wanted to ask us any question, please feel free to ask us through the comment box. We're going to continue our conversation. So, you know, you are building a strong relationship and partnerships to the local economy. Can you tell us how you were doing it? If other companies, other people, they wanted to engage in building a strong relationship to the economy and to the business community, what is the secret sauce that you are doing the other company they are not?
Well, for us, we're very conscious of the part we play in each of the areas that we operate out of, both mainland and on the island. So for me personally, we attend a lot of networking events. We have great relationships with the local councils that we're involved in. We like to promote local business. We try and do what we can to support local business. We offer business prices to travel to and from the island to keep that crossing affordable. In our retail outlet, 72% of the produce that we sell is from the Isle of Wight or Hampshire, and 28 out of our 37 partners are housed within a 30-mile radius of where we operate. So we're very keen to offer local, buy local, and sell local. And I don't know, I suppose it's easier when you're in where we're situated, especially in Portsmouth and in Hampshire. There's such a rich offering around us for this kind of produce. Like I've just said, with the Isle of Wight, you've got headline names, you've got Mermaid Gin, you've got the garlic farm. A lot of people are very familiar with the garlic farm and the produce that they put off, which is absolutely fantastic. You've got the tomato stall. You've got big farms over there. So you've got Barfoot's that export quite a lot of their sweet corn. You've got Staples, who typically operate out of Lincolnshire, but they grow cauliflowers, cabbages, and sweet corn on the island as well. So we're quite blessed in the fact that we're so close to such amazing businesses that can offer supply.
That's really fascinating, and we just have some of our audiences joined. So I just have one question. I will go to the question later. So Mahbub said, hello, welcome to our live webinar. Travis, thank you very much, Mahbub. We have some other questions. We will show this question later, but I wanted to dive into the another questions to ask you. Like, you have strategies, because without a strategy, it is not possible to do massive work that you are contributing now. In terms of strategies to engage community and local people together, or businesses together, what is your main focus on that?
So for me personally, from a business perspective, because I deal with a lot of the B2B market, the best way to build relationships is to be present. So you've seen in the local area that we attend a lot of the um, business shows, expos, networking events. We've hosted networking events ourselves. We stay engaged with our customer base, and we can also offer introductions to businesses on the mainland to those on the island that we feel would be a good fit to each other. So it kind of perpetuates that ongoing business and that ongoing trade.
That's really fascinating information. So, we have some questions. So I just wanted to ask one questions from the audience. Just give me 1 second. We have Taifa Shahrin has asked. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna show that information to you. Um, so she asked, how can a small business utilize data analytics to inform their businesses strategies and drive growth? I think you probably deal with many businesses, and you have a database. And do you have any? Can you answer these questions? That if you wanted to, analyze um, business data for yourself or local businesses to connect together, how do you do that?
That's a tough one, really. For us, it depends what you're looking for in the data, and it depends what industry you're in and where you're looking to drive forwards. Really, are you looking to drive growth globally? Are you looking to drive growth in your immediate area? So for us, we're in quite a fortuitous position where we service a market and we have one other competitor in that marketplace at the moment. So for us to grow is to just simply see what the need of the island is, really. So yeah, I'm afraid I can't really help too much on that question.
Thank you, Kazi, for your questions. I think it is related off the topic of the subject we are doing, but thank you anyway for asking these questions. So, um, you know, we always add technology to our growth. And I know that Whitelink, you also work with technology as well as understanding technology. So, in relation, adding technology and embracing new technology, how do you do that? Because Isle of Wight is a remote island. Only ferry can reach there. In terms of innovation and technological innovation, what is your key motivation to add new technology to the people of that and bridging that together to the mainland?
There's two aspects that probably become the biggest focus. So the first one is what technology can improve our environmental impact or reduce our environmental impact. And the second one is the customer journey, because the customer journey is at the heart of what we do. So anything that can make that easier, make that a more pleasurable experience. So, for example, we operate the only hybrid electric ferry in domestic waters, which was a
Mhm.
huge step forwards in the Victoria of Wight. So that was a huge innovation that not only reduces our environmental impact, but it's a fantastic craft, and a lot of the people that sail on it have really enjoyed it. We've also introduced smaller technological advances that just help with the customer journey. So at all of our ports, we have automatic number plate recognition. So if you book a ferry, you put your registration in. As soon as you arrive, the colleague in the car booth recognises your booking and can just take you through, and it's very seamless. So gone are the days of digging for tickets or trying to remember a reference number. So it's
Mhm.
all these touch points. We also have an app, and on the app you can pre-order food and drink. So when you board the ferry, your order's already there, so you can get it. So they might not seem huge, but it's just little advancements in technology that just make the customer journey seamless and really pleasurable.
That's really great information to add on. I will ask you a related questions to you in relation to the technology. Um, we have good experiences when we go to Isle of Wight. I've been there 5 6 times last couple of years. and I always wanted to go because the experience I'm having on boarding the ferry and going over there is different. It's different. So in terms of experience and creating this good atmosphere for the audience, how do you maintain the quality all the time, because you're going to be dealing with millions of people, isn't it, every year, as we
Yes.
know. How do you maintain that? It's going to be too critical or difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We work in an industry where we rely on mechanical equipment, and
Mhm.
occasionally mechanical equipment will break down, and it's how you handle it, it's how you work with it. So sometimes the weather plays a part. This morning, I woke up to brilliant sunshine and blue skies. I'm not sure if you did, but there was some heavy fog on the Solent. So it's just keeping open lines of communication with the customer base if something ever goes wrong, and just keeping them reliably informed on what's going on and what's happening. 9 times out of 10, our punctuality and reliability stats are fantastic. They're 98, 99%. So we just strive hard and we embed it into our core values with our colleagues, with those that are on board, with those that are on shore, that customer service is paramount, because at the end of the day, if the customers keep coming back, you've still got a business.
Mhm. I totally agree with you because I've been to, as I said, many times to Isle of Wight, and I wanted to go more. And without this experience, this good experience, good memories, I can still remember that I went there with my 1-year-old son. He's 10 now. 10 years before, but the memory I had, he's playing on the deck, and I have those photos. I can still remember that day that I've been there, and that good memory keep turning me. Okay, shall I go there over there? My son, he wants to go there as well all the time. Okay, can we go to Isle of Wight? Can you go to Isle of Wight? So this thing is like a different feeling. So I think the good feeling I had, the other audiences or your customer, they will have the same. So thank you for the contribution to the local economy. So I will have another questions. I just wanted to ask from Muradujjaman. Thank you very much for this question to us. When you corporate social responsibility initiatives to change reputation and community impact. So when it comes for CSR, how do you leverage the CSR for yourself and for the community impact?
For the CSR, I can't comment. That would be someone else that deals with our corporate social responsibility. But what I do know is
Mhm.
what we also do is we invest in the island community. So we have several schemes that run. We have our talented athlete scheme, which runs because we appreciate that people that live on the island, especially if they're getting into top level sport, pro level, semi pro level sport, that a lot of this happens on the mainland. So the island does have a sporting community, but if you really want to progress a career, you have to travel to the mainland. So we select talented athletes every year. They receive reduced travel costs, free travel. So we really do try and support it that way. We also invest into what is the Isle of Wight's tourist board, because it's now Visit White. So there was the D bid that went round that everybody in tourism pays into. And we
Mhm.
kind of do this, but we do this in a way that we get a very good feedback from those on the islands, especially those who are helping. But we do it based on the fact that we understand that that's the right thing to do. It's not necessarily done with the thought in the back of the mind that this is to enhance our reputation at all. It's because we have the ability to do it. So if you do have the ability to do it, you should do it.
Mhm. I totally agree. I totally agree with you. And the sustainability and innovation is the core motive of Isle of for White Link. So, in terms of innovation and sustainability, we have covered in the past with the conversation that you do a lot of work on green economy as well as local economy. So, in relation of innovation and sustainability, what are the key aspects that you look into businesses or people?
So I think that's done on a business by business basis. We've looked at it. Obviously, the first huge step we took was bringing in a hybrid electric ferry. We're
Mm,
also looking at methods of greener propulsion for every other ferry that comes in. The landscape on that changes almost weekly at the moment with what is the best green fuel source. So we're always keeping an eye on that. Our E&E guys are all over that. And then there's the small changes that you can make. So we have anti-idling encouragement for when you're on the port. We have electric charge points for electric vehicles. We also have a scheme for employees to get an electric vehicle as
mm,
part of a company that supplies those through salary sacrifice. So that's encouraging our employees to go greener. We have the cycle to work scheme. We've had solar panels installed on the top of our main office at Gunwharf. We're looking at putting solar panels across the other sites as well. So we're constantly looking into what we can do, because it's not necessarily a huge change that you need to make. It's all the little changes that build up to one big impact.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you, because when you talk about sustainability and innovation, is the thing. There are a lot of big corporation in the in South Coast, and are all of them contributing the same the way White Link is contributing? What's the differences you see? Your contribution, the other businesses' contribution, mainly.
Um, I, we don't really compare ourselves to other businesses. We just do what we do.
Mm,
And our CEO's main focus is sustainability and pushing towards becoming carbon neutral. So
mm,
we've got fully recyclable drinking cups on board, and we
okay.
also offer a discount for those that bring reusable cups to have their
Mhm,
coffee put in those. We don't have any plastic knives, forks, or plates for our food offering. It's all wooden. It's all fully recyclable. So we kind of just focus on what we're doing and what we can do well, rather than necessarily looking at other businesses or big businesses around us. Of course,
mhm,
you can look at what other big businesses are doing for the positive and think that's a great idea. Let's do that. And that's kind of the route we take. Really, we just focus on what we're doing and just try and do it as well as we possibly can. And where we can see that we can make a better environmental contribution, then that's what we'll do.
Thank you very much for uh, this information, and we're going to be talking more. Before I jump into the next questions, I just wanted to ask the audiences, if you're enjoying our talking, feel free to ask us comments through the comment box, and we will try to answer those questions if we know, if we have that information, as we are discussing contributing local economy today. So please ask us questions that will reflect the webinar topic. And thank you, Terry. I just had one question from Terry. You can also see it here. So hi, Travis. I have strong links with tourist boats. The Isle of Wight is an island. What would you say is the number one USP for the Isle of Wight as a tourist destination? That's a very good question, I would say, Travis.
It is a great question, and one I'm very happy to answer, because I love the Isle of Wight. I love promoting the Isle of Wight.
Yes.
Um, I would say, Terry, thank you very much for your question. The Isle of Wight's USP is, for an island that's so small, it's 28 miles across, whatever you're looking for in a holiday. So if you're looking for a sunny beach resort with brilliant blue seas and white sands, go to Ryde. If you're looking for stunning walks and scenery that will just knock your socks off, then you can go to the West White. There's a huge sailing community. So when you've got a day like today, when it's sunny outside, when the mercury's reaching 25, 26, you could literally be anywhere on the world
Mm-hmm.
at certain points on that island. It's absolutely stunning. It really is. And to do that, to take children and a family across, it means that it doesn't have to be as expensive, because there's a lot of low cost / no cost options of just going out and being outside and being out and about that I think are hugely beneficial.
Yeah. Terry, I hope you have understood and you have got your answer. So if you don't, please reply back. And if you wanted to ask any other question, feel free to ask us. We're going to be jumping to the next questions. Yes, we are talking about Isle of Wight and we're talking about White Link and these ferries. Um, in terms of experience, we have covered some of the bits. But can you tell us a bit more? If some of the audience they wanted to have this experience, because I don't know, some of them have been to the Isle of Wight. If they wanted to go, what is the typical scenario that what they should do? Because I know that you have to plan, you have to book tickets, but what is the typical scenario for booking ticket to go to Isle of Wight and returning back? How they would do it?
So there's several options. So we try and cater for everyone. We have a contact center that you can call up if you want to talk to someone, book your ferry journey, and just find out a little bit about what's on the island. We also have a website which has a huge directory on the website of where to go, where to stay, where to eat, where's dog friendly on the island. That's a huge question that we get asked a lot, is where's dog friendly, which is really growing in its popularity
Mhm,
for the Isle of Wight. Or we have our downloadable app, which is available on smartphones and iOS. So
mhm,
you can go on there, that has live timetable updates and everything else. So I would say that there's several ways. It's quite easy to be able to do
mhm,
it in whatever way you want to and be comfortable. Um, and it's fairly straightforward, to be honest. For a port, I know a lot of people think that they're getting on a boat and what's going to happen. So we ask for our travellers to turn up 30 minutes prior to their book sailing, so they can
mhm.
arrive, they can be checked in, they get boarded on a boat. Our crossings are literally 45 minutes across the water for the car ferries, 22 minutes for the foot passenger ferry, and then you're in the beautiful Isle of Wight.
That's that. To the audience, thank you very much for joining, and I hope you are enjoying these events. And we will talk more on how you can grow a local economy, being a local business. So we have, um, you know, can you, if we talk about experiences as others in the connected questions, I just wanted to ask you, can you give us an example, like, okay, or maybe a memory, good memory of yours to the audience that you have experienced? Because I have good memories. I have said, okay, I can still see my son, 1-year-old son, is playing on the deck on the White Link ferry when I went there. What do you have a good memory going over Isle of Wight? And if someone else or any compliment from your customer that giving you compliment on their experience and journey.
Yeah, I mean, we do get a lot of compliments come in. It's usually staff centric, so it's the way the staff have treated them, helped them, just made the journey so much easier. We do get a lot of those come in. From me, from a personal aspect, from work. So while I've been at work, we've literally just got over the Isle of Wight festival, and
Mhm,
I think there's nothing more heartwarming than seeing a lot of people descend on the port. They're all in a great mood. They're all going to go over to the festival. We have a musician on board or a DJ on board. So it really starts that festival vibe. And everyone's in such good spirits and such a good mood. And they traveled over to the island. They get off the other side. They're excited to get to the festival ground. And I've been a festival goer. I went this weekend. I've been about 5 times in the past. And it's just the atmosphere that started from the moment you arrive at the port to when you get on the boat, that keeps on going, the momentum keeps on going, that everyone just arrives and they're so happy. And it's such a sense of community because you're all going there for the same reason. And I absolutely love festival season every year. It's one of my favorite times of year.
I totally understand the way you contributing to the local economy, and I think when the festival season. I think last year, if I'm wrong, correct me. There are like millions of people. They travel to for the festival, Isle of Wight festival. Uh, how many people do they really join to the Isle of Wight festival? Do you have any correct figure, or you do know that?
So the Isle of Wight Festival capacity this year was 55,000.
Mhm,
A portion of those attendees do come from the Isle of Wight, but I
mhm,
think between the two ferry companies, I think we probably ship over between 30 to 40,000 people that are attending. Then you've
mhm,
got the artists, then you've got the traders,
mhm.
and you've got all the supply that goes with it, plus the security, the additional policing that goes over. So yeah, there's a huge amount of people that move to the island for the festival period. It really is crazy, the numbers.
Yeah. So, in relation with the ferries, the connected question I would ask you, because when you have a normal season, like, do you increase your travel, the ferry services? Like, okay, normally you would have one or two or three, or you increase that.
Yes, so we have three formats in our timetable. So the
Hmm.
first format is the winter timetable, which is an hourly service, which runs typically from the end of September to the Easter bank holiday, whenever that starts, usually early March, mid March. Then we go into our summer timetable, which on the Portsmouth Fishbourne route is a 40-minute timetable with three vessels that are running. And then when we get to real peaks like the festival, so, for example, on Sunday night, which was the last night of the official festival when the acts finished, although people could stay through till the Monday, we literally just had an hourly service just ticking over, and we just had boats running all night just to make sure that people could get off to the mainland and get back to where they needed to be. So where we see huge demand, we try and add additional services. Our Lymington to Yarmouth route this weekend is going to have three boats on it, which we haven't done since pre-COVID, which is very exciting because we're seeing the demand. Usually we have two boat service operating on that most of the year, but now we're starting to see peak demand for the summer. We've put the third boat in, and we hope to continue that into next year to then have it baked into the timetable that that third boat will run through the summer. So we're very, very excited about that.
Thank you, Travis. To the audience, thank you very much for joining today's webinar. I hope you are enjoying the live webinar, and please support our webinar, support our work. So we're going to be talking more in detail how you can grow local economy and contribute to the local economy. And we have Travis Cooper from the White Link, and I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui of New Divergent Business Consortium. And you know that we do run this program every Tuesday from 12 to 1, and we have a special guest in on every event, and we will talk about local economy as well as contributing to the local people and neurodivergent communities. So I'm going to be jump into the next segment with you. I just wanted to ask you, because this program is dedicated for the neurodivergent people as well as disabled and all other communities. So, in relation with the growing local economy or hiring people to Whitelink, I think Whitelink employ hundreds of people to its work. So, how do you value people they have neurodiversity or they have disability in relation when you hire or when you train individuals?
Well, we're a fully inclusive employer, as you would expect. So it's really it would be done on a case by case basis, and we just want to make sure that everybody that comes to work for Whitelink can do the best job that they can do, and that they're given all the tools and everything they need to be able to achieve that. So we would work with everybody on an individual basis, to be honest, and we're a very multicultural, multi-diverse employer across the areas that we operate from.
Mhm. Thank you. So to the audience, so if you wanted a job, and if you wanted to work with Whitelink, as you know that they are open for any culture, any diversity, as well as if you're disabled, and if you wanted to extend your work over Isle of Wight, and as well as you wanted to go to work on Isle of Wight. So normally, we have thinking that okay, it is a remote destination to go to work. Can you give us a little bit information on uh, do people go over there to work every day, or they just live over there normally, or what is the work pattern? So if someone wants to start working in Isle of Wight, what they should do, what they should think about it.
Yeah, we do have people travel to the island every day for work. We also have people travel off the island every day for work because we've got good links to the rail network from our harbour terminal. We see a big shift of islanders that go and work in the city a couple of days a week. That's quite common. But if you're looking at working on the Isle of Wight, there's lots of different options. So we offer reduced rate tickets for regular travellers. Um, there's a lot of big employers over on the island. For me, I try and encourage those people that own their own business to look to connect with other businesses on the island to create trade there, necessarily than just going over there to be an employee at a business, because there's huge output on the island. And as much as people think that the island is a holiday destination, which it is, and it's a fantastic holiday destination, the largest business sector currently on the island as of 2023 was a wholesale, retail and trade, followed by the accommodation and food services, and 8% of the output is manufacturing. So there's a really diverse business mix on the island, which is great.
Mhm. So to the audience, you know that Isle of Wight is contributing significance to the local economy. And we are talking today with Travis Cooper from the Whitelink. And Whitelink is a company. They run regular ferry services to the Isle of Wight from the Portsmouth Harbour and other destinations. So if you wanted to engage more, feel free to search online. They have hundreds of information available, as well as you can download their app, and you can have these experiences through going from Portsmouth to the Isle of Wight. And we're going to be talking more on this topic. Before I jump into the next segments, developing skills for the workforce and is a key contribution to grow local economy. You have We have discussed previously that you contribute to the local people by engaging different type of programs. Do you do any collaborative programs with the island and with the mainland? Any exchange with maybe SMEs or a local community to engage over to each other?
Um, yeah, I mean, we'll always look to connect the mainland with the island as much as possible, to be honest. So we've hosted a networking event ourselves, which has tried to connect island and mainland businesses. That was promoted over there. We've taken mainland businesses to the island expos that are on the island to try and add connections there. We do the sporting, we do the talented athlete. A lot of the talented athlete is off island rather than to island, because it's more those sports groups that are traveling to the island will travel once or twice a year, whereas the athletes on the island are traveling off almost every week, if not twice a week, to try and further their sporting career. So we'll always look to make those connections across the water. It's something that we do. We have advertising space on our website that promotes holiday destinations, accommodation providers, attractions on the island. So we're very keen to promote what the island has to offer.
Thank you for the information. So thank you everyone for joining to this live webinar. We're going to be talking more in the next segment on. If you have any question, please feel free to ask us through the comment box, and we will try to answer those questions for you. So we have Travis Cooper from the Whitelink, and we will talk about more contributing to the local economy. So in relation, because we're going to be talking skills improvements and others. So do you think the way you're supporting a local economy is improving skills to the local people? Do you have any program for that, or how do you contribute to the local people to improve their skills and as well as engagement?
I would say that was through those that we employ in our local community, to be honest, because we're in the maritime industry. There are a lot of maritime careers out there. We're a maritime city as well, so it's huge. So we have very, very good career paths and career opportunities. I've spoken to people that started as a rating on the boat, and now they're one of our masters, and they're sailing one of the car ferries backwards and forwards from the Isle of Wight. So we do promote that. We also are looking at promoting maritime apprenticeships as well, and bringing those people on board, cadetships and stuff like that, which is great. So it's yeah, we really like to promote that side of things, and we'd really like to give people a path to progression if they want it. So you get skilled working on the ferries right up to, if you want to, mastering. And we ask for the highest form of ticket for our masters, which is a Master Mariner's ticket. And once you've got that, you can sail pretty much anywhere around the world. It'll be accepted anywhere around the world.
Okay, that's a good piece of information. So we have another questions from Terry. Terry said, Terry Arnold from okay. From my experience, it would seem the number one UPS for the Isle of Wight is the awareness of the Isle of Wight festival, and listening to your numbers of 55,000 visitors. It would seems to me you could double their figure within a year or two through the optimization of digital media. Example, BBC does good coverage for the Isle of Wight festival. It is his Terry's comments. So in relation to that, I just wanted to ask you one question: that uh, when you think about growing your business, you know there's this festival every year. How do you plan for, okay, this year is done, so next year, how are you going to be planning more, like, okay, next year to increase the number, or or improve more people in relation with marketing and so on? How do you reach people for the success for the next year planning?
So what we do with the Isle of Wight Festival is really all we would look at doing is pinching the market share that's already going. I understand Terry's comment and what he's put there, but the amount of capacity at the Isle of Wight Festival is dictated to by the footprint of the festival itself. So the festival has a limit of the amount of people it can host because of the location it is. It's in Seagrove Park. It's unlikely for that footprint to get any bigger, or especially not in the sense to double it. Back in the days when Jimi Hendrix played, there was rumours that 500,000 people descended on the Isle of Wight to go to the festival. But since then, stricter measures and health and safety have been brought in, and thankfully. So it kind of sits there and hovers around that. I think last year was about 52,000. So they've pushed it a little bit. They've kind of expanded the boundary a little bit, but we wouldn't expect that to double or triple anytime soon because of the nature of the festival that it is. So for next year's planning, it's pretty much a carbon copy. We do what we do well. We know what works. It's been to the island quite a few times. So for us to grow where we look to grow in the shoulder periods. So we're trying to encourage people to go to the Isle of Wight outside of the summer holidays, between that period of Easter and the start of the summer holidays. So what we do is we do a lot of social media marketing, advertising. We've got a Sky TV campaign coming up to reach people in the immediate areas, and postcode targeting that we're doing. So we really do try and push more just the Isle of Wight rather than the Isle of Wight Festival. The Isle of Wight Festival is a self-perpetuating machine. It kind of sells itself, and everyone knows it happens every year. And 9 times out of 10, it pretty much sells out. This year, I don't think it did fully sell out, but that we know what we're doing with that. So where we want to grow, where we've got areas to grow, is more in that shoulder period, and then just immediately after the summer holidays. So that September to October half-term period is where we turn our focus to try and drive more numbers to the island.
Thank you much, Travis. Terry, I hope you understood the question. Okay, he just replied it back. So thank you, Terry, for being creative and joining this live webinar. So good answer, Travis. Thank you. Thank you, Terry, as well. Thank you, all the guests, for your engagement to the live webinar today. And we're going to be jumping to the next segment, and we are nearly end of our session. So if you wanted to ask us any question, feel free to ask us through the comment box. and we will talk about it. So, in relation, you have a plan to grow the local economy and contribute locally. In relation of grant and fundings, like, okay, is there anything specific on the island that they can get if they wanted to relocate, or if they wanted to contribute to the local population there, rather than the mainland doesn't have?
See, that I'm not sure on, but I do think that it's worth investigating the benefits of the free port that's been awarded to Portsmouth and Southampton and Havant and the surrounding areas, because there's definitely going to be some form of halo effect on that. Now, I'm only commenting from my own personal experience and some of the conversations that I've had around this being awarded. This is kind of aside from a Whitelink thing. So from a Whitelink perspective, I'm not sure what the local council or government are offering as incentives, but there are big businesses over there that I think are there seems to be a reason to be there, so it's definitely worth looking into. You've got BAE Systems on the Isle of Wight, you've got GKN Aerospace, as I mentioned before, MHI Vestas. So they're all huge global companies, and they've all got a base on the Isle of Wight. So it's definitely worth looking into.
Okay, thank you. I think you have had a clear view now, for working on Isle of Wight, as well as doing your business over there, because Whitelink, they offer specific tickets as well as discounts. So if you wanted to get a discount or something like that, follow their website. I hope you will find useful information over there. So in relation with investments, because you are a business and you do invest in varieties of local businesses or SMEs. What you look into, like, okay, when you invest something, is there a mechanism there? Like someone like SMEs like Terry, if he wanted to grow his business to Isle of Wight in relation with the work he does for the tourism industry, what facility do you provide for new businesses, or do you have a mechanism within your business to support businesses or invest on businesses?
See, the only way we would do that really is through information. So it would be, if you're looking to get connected onto the Isle of Wight, a good place to start is to speak to the people that service it, the ferry operators, and then we can introduce you. We have, like me personally, from a business background, I've got a little black book that I could make connections if I feel it'll be a good fit for your business to try and encourage stuff over there. But by ways of grants and support, we don't really do that as a business, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in terms of supporting like investing on local economy, you only cover the ferry services, or do you do invest on local economy, like green economy, or any other sustainable business?
Um, for sustainability, we've got ties in with, we've done quite a lot of ecological work with oyster beds and seaweed areas over in and around our local ports, rock pools. So we invest in that sort of sense in the in the environment. Sorry, but we do that kind of, that's just, it happens. We put it in, and that's kind of it, really. So that's where we don't really invest in businesses. We were looking, we're in very early stage talks about a seaweed farm off the coast of Selsey, which is a carbon offsetting program that's garnered some attention because it's taken the carbon out of the water that we operate in, which we're very keen to do. But we don't really see that as an investment in business. It's more an investment in the environment and the positive impact that we can have on the environment.
That's really fascinating, and that's a good information for the audience, because you might wondering that, okay, I love the ferry services they provide. It will pollute the local weather, or it will increase the carbon footprint. So from Whitelink, they have a mechanism to reduce the carbon footprint, like investing these kind of businesses. That's really a great information for people to know, because we are very much aware of the green, we are very much aware of our local pollutions and others, so on. So if we know that, okay, as you run local services, you are also thinking to contribute greatly to reduce the carbon footprint in the local area. So in
Yeah.
relation with reducing carbon footprint, well, we know where we already have spoke, we already have discussed this in various of technological innovation that we do and other things. Do you have a plan to become net zero? And if you have, can you tell us, our audiences, as to how you become net zero?
So the actual plan, I don't have the full details on, but I know that our CEO is very, very conscious of trying to become net zero as soon as possible. I think he put the date in of net zero before 2040.
Mhm.
To 2030, I think was an ambitious target, but that would need help from central government. But we're very, very, very driven onto reducing our carbon footprint as much as possible. I think our next round of vessels that we bring in are going to be much cleaner, much greener. Whether they'll be fully electric or not, I'm not sure. It depends on what's out there as the best method of propulsion, but we'll definitely be stepping away from just the purely diesel-driven ferries that everyone's so used to seeing.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask you one question, because I was asked many times with the people that, okay, Isle of Wight and the mainland is not so far. Why there isn't a bridge, like physical bridge there uh, in place? What is the reason for that?
I don't. There's several reasons. I think one is the island community enjoy being an island, and as soon as you build a bridge, you lose that identity as an island. I
Mhm.
think location is another one. A lot of people get used to going between Portsmouth and Fishbourne, Lymington and Yarmouth, and Southampton and East Cowes. But to actually put a bridge on any one of those crossings would be almost impossible because they're such busy shipping lanes. They're part of harbours. We're
Mhm.
situated in the home of the Queen's Navy, or the King's Navy, as it is now. So to build a bridge just from the routes you're used to traveling on is tough. So it's finding the location to do it as well. It's often been spoken about, but I'm not sure I'll be around to see it.
I think so, because I think when it is an island, it is an island. It is a dream that, okay, you're going to an island, but when it is joined to the mainland and the island, it's not going to be an island. So you
It
don't
stops
have that
being an
dream.
island.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have that dream, you don't have that mindsets. And as you know, that this is a very deep water, isn't it? So being a deep water, you have lots of ships and other things is coming to these islands, and as well as the mainlands, so that will be interrupted as well. So um, I just have another question from the from Salodin. I just wanted to talk about the education now in the last few minutes. um, as you know that Isle of Wight, they have many educational institutions. So in relation to that, how can local educational institution, school or college contribute to build a positive culture and in turn support the local economy? Uh, in relation with the island educational establishment, how do you work? Do you have any mechanism to work with the local school and college, or maybe something else?
yeah, we do work with all the local schools and colleges, more so in the sense of travel. So to make sure that we can get students to and from and across the water. So we offer a lot of season tickets that are priced in a way that they operate throughout the school term time for staff and for students. The other thing that the island doesn't have, it does have a lot of schools and colleges, it doesn't have a university.
Hmm.
So we tend to find that a lot of university students will go to Bournemouth, to Southampton, or to Portsmouth, or maybe even slightly further afield. So we try and offer tickets that are priced reasonably for students. For the local educational institutions to build a positive culture, I think that I don't fully understand the question in that sense, because schools and colleges tend to have a positive culture in where they're located because of what they do, primarily what they do. Supporting the local economy, again, from the educational sector, I couldn't comment on that.
Thank you, Saladin, for asking these questions. So, to the audiences, we just nearly end of our session. So, I think you have enjoyed to this webinar. we're going to be finishing this session very soon. But so before I finish this session, I just wanted to ask Travis to maybe five key takeaways from this conversation in relation with if people wanted to engage with the local economy from the mainland to the Isle of Wight in jobs and in training as well as investments. What would be the main key takeaway for people to understand to go to the Isle of Wight and contribute over there?
Um, I don't necessarily think it's Isle of Wight centric. I think this just stands up in any business is always look a little bit deeper, because it's very surprising what you'll find and the connections that you might be able to make and the links that you'll make in a local community where you think you need a much bigger company or supplier to operate. This is something we found through our retail offering and the suppliers that we use. Is it's very, very surprising the industry and the businesses and the entrepreneurship that you've got within a very short radius of where you are. And the island is no different. Don't just think of the island as a holiday destination. It is a fantastic holiday destination, but it's also a great place to do business. And there's more going on that island than you think. And it's probably the same with the town or the city that you live in. So just look a bit deeper.
Thank you, Travis. I just have last, last remarks from Terry. Hi, Travis. I thought your points of view were valuable. I would like to stay in touch. So, Terry, thank you very much for your comments, and I hope that you can contact Travis direct through his LinkedIn and social media. So I just wanted to ask you. So if the audience they wanted to connect to you, how they connect? Do you have any specific thing, or they will go through the White Link websites?
Just find me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn is the best way to do it. Mention the webinar, and then if you want to chat any further or ask anything else, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, the audience, and hopefully you have enjoyed today's live webinar. We have another live webinar on 5th of July with Travis to our commercial wing, that's Sensi Marketing and Time Research and Innovation. And you know that we run regular programs on LinkedIn on every Tuesday from 12 to 1, every Wednesday from 12 to 1, and every Friday 4 to 5 p.m. So specifically, New Divergent Business Consortium, we try to engage with people for anything related to their business development, as well as growing their knowledge for people with neurodiversity and disability and all other reasons. So um, I just have Flo, another just comments at the end. Thank you so much. It was very informative session. Thank you, Flo, for joining this conversation. I really appreciate that you asked, you just commented, and thank you very much to all of you. We just nearly end of our session, so I just wanted to ask Travis to add a closing remarks to the audience, please.
So offer a what? Sorry.
Just a closing remarks to the audience.
Well,
if you want to say anything to them.
Just thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and great questions. Sorry if I didn't get to any, but if you want to ask again, just get to me on LinkedIn. That's fine.
I think if you wanted to ask him the questions you have asked, feel free to contact him through the through LinkedIn, as well as he's in all other social media as well. So I appreciate today all of you for your engagement as well as questions. So we're going to be ending these sessions in a few seconds. But as I said, we try to grow our community, New Divergent community, as well as we try to increase your productivity and increase your engagement with the community. So that's why we had Travis Cooper from White Link. White Link is contributing significantly to the local economy and creating a positive culture. And that's why we thought that it would be easier for us to introduce Travis, because he works in local community as well. So if you wanted to engage with him, just contact him through the through LinkedIn. And we're going to be ending this program in in few seconds. So thank you, Travis, for joining today's webinar. Please stay on the line. I'm just going to say bye-bye to the audience, and thank you for joining.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone, for joining today's live webinar. So I will welcome you next week, next Tuesday, with another of our guests. Until then, stay tuned and please support our work. And we will discuss another topic next week. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.